This coming fall, Evergreen Public Schools will be starting up an exciting two-way bilingual Spanish Immersion program at Marrion Elementary School. Now, the thing about this program is that it will be available to the youngest students in the district. And joining us to talk about this exciting new program are Carrison, who is the ELL Specialist here in the Evergreen School District, and Traci Haddad, who is the Principal of Marrion Elementary School. Welcome, both of you, to the program.
Thank you.
First of all, two-way bilingual Spanish Immersion program. What is a two-way bilingual program?
Well, a two-way bilingual program means that we have speakers of two languages that are participating in the program. So the class will be made up, ideally, half of native Spanish-speaking children and half of native English-speaking children. And both groups of those kids will be together immersed in a bilingual experience during their educational day.
Now, why this program? What made you decide to come up with a two-way bilingual Spanish immersion program?
When the superintendent, John Dieter, asked us to look into programs that are out there, this type of a program, we looked at a variety of different program models, and there are several variations being used in school districts all over the country. We went and did some observations and some visits in some schools, and we decided that for our Evergreen School District and our community and our kids, that the two-way bilingual immersion was the way that we wanted to go because of the benefits that the kids would see from that. And so from that point, we began kind of refining our research and looking specifically at that program model.
And Marrion was chosen.
Yes.
So why Marrion Elementary?
We were chosen because we have the highest percentage of Spanish-speaking students in program and in our school, I believe, for our population. And so, and it's continuing to grow. So this best serves our students and our families at Marrion and makes it a place where we can really begin a community-based program.
So how is this going to work?
Well, we are going to start, we will start next year in the fall of 2011 with our incoming kindergartners, and we're planning to start with a class of 28 students, 14 ideally who speak Spanish, 14 ideally who speak English, and they will begin this journey that will begin in kindergarten with 90% of their day being taught, their content being taught in Spanish, and 10% of the day in English. And as this group of children moves through the grades, the percentage of the time in language will change. So in first grade, these students will be learning 80% of their content in Spanish and 20% in English. And so by the time they leave our school in 5th grade, both groups of students will be biliterate and bilingual.
Wow. And you already have the teacher. You've hired a teacher who is bilingual.
We have hired a wonderful teacher who is bilingual, and she's teaching kindergarten in our school this year. So she's becoming very familiar with the way that we do things in Evergreen, so that next year as we transition to a bilingual immersion program, it will be done and will look the same as our other kindergarten classes, only in Spanish.
So what about the kids that are already in Marrion, you know, like the first graders or the second graders? Will they be able to participate in something like this?
No, sadly, even our kindergartners this year are going to miss out on this opportunity because we are starting with our incoming kindergartners next year. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to give students that 6 years of time in program and immersion so that they do come out bilingual and biliterate.
So what are the advantages of starting out a student in kindergarten when it comes to learning two languages as opposed to one?
Well, basically what we know about language acquisition from a broad base of research is that it takes about 5 to 7 years for students to acquire academic language. And since our goal here is to produce biliterate, bilingual students, they need to have that academic language piece, not just the communicative piece. So if we have kids starting in kindergarten, we're able to begin that literacy building process from the very beginning in Spanish.
So how are you going to decide which 14 and which 14?
We begin with, we'll be taking applications. We have some upcoming meetings to inform parents about what the program will be, and we ask the parents to make a 6-year commitment to this program. And so the parents who decide that they can make a commitment to this program for their children will fill out an application. And what we'll do is we'll take all of the applications of people who are interested, both Marrion families and families from within the district who don't attend Marrion, and we will be doing a lottery system. The Marrion families will have the first chance at getting into the program because it's a community-based program. So if we're able to fill it with all Marrion families, then we'll be done with the process. If we are not able to, then we open it up to families out in the district, and it's all done through lottery so that we have half the class English speakers, half the class native Spanish speakers, and we begin there, trying to also balance gender in the classroom.
And there are going to be a couple of informational meetings, as you said, and
Yes.
there are 2 of them in February.
Yes, 2 in February. One is Thursday, February 10th at 7 o'clock in the evening. These are both at Marrion Elementary, and the other is Saturday, February 12th at 10 o'clock.
So what are the challenges to something like this? I mean, I see a lot of positives, like, oh, this is great. I mean, especially because by the time that these kids, you know, get into middle school, they are going to be immersed in 2 languages as opposed to 1. And we know from statistics that really helps when it comes to academics and all sorts of things. Are there any challenges to this?
There are challenges to this, and I think one of our first challenges that we're going to be addressing at these informational meetings is educating our parents in what this program has to offer and how it's going to look different from educational experiences that their children have had up to now. Because they're going to be immersed in Spanish, parents are going to struggle with maybe not being able to help their children with their homework or understanding exactly what's going on in the classroom if they don't speak that language, and really having an understanding that it will transfer. By the time the children get up to 3rd grade, we'll start to transfer the literacy instruction over into English. But up until that point, the literacy instruction is all in Spanish, and I think that will be a challenge for parents that we'll have to support them through.
And it's important for the parents to know that this isn't going to cost them anything, correct?
No, there's no cost to the parents.
Well, we're running out of time, but I'd like to ask you both, is there anything else you want to add about this program?
Well, we're just very excited that we're going to be able to offer this to our families. It's a great way for the community to come together at Marrion. It's a great way for 2 cultural groups not only to learn one another's language and develop those very strong literacy skills. We know that programs like this foster high levels of academic achievement, but they also get to make that community a little bit more closely knit. And so we're just really excited to be able to offer this from the district.
Well, I want to thank you both for being with us, and we're going to be keeping an eye on this. This is a very exciting program.
Thank you.